A very good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America in Washington on Wednesday, December the 29th, 2021. And this is the Diaspora Forum. I am Kip Stube.
And I'm Marvelous Nhlanhla, who are broadcasting from my home in Washington, D.C. this last Wednesday in December.
Tonight on Livetalk, we are talking about COVID-19, the death of veteran football administrator Ndumiso Gumede, and other issues.
But first, let's take a look at COVID-19. In its daily bulletin, the Ministry of Health reports that 32 people died of COVID-19 in Zimbabwe yesterday, and over 2,000 tested positive for the coronavirus, which has taken the lives of almost 5,000 Zimbabweans since the pandemic started in March last year.
The ministry also reports that more than 4 million people have received their COVID-19 vaccines in Zimbabwe, and over 3 million their second dose.
At least 208,000 Zimbabweans have contracted COVID-19 since March last year, and almost 170,000 have fortunately recovered.
In other news, veteran football administrator Ndumiso Gumede passed away today at Mpilo Hospital of an undisclosed ailment. He was recently honored by Highlanders supporters who gave him an assortment of presents and cash for his sterling performance in the club.
And Gumede started working at Highlanders structures in the 1970s and rose through the ranks to become the club's chairperson and secretary general. He also became Zimbabwe Football Association's vice president. He played a key role in purchasing of Highlanders assets, which include a sports center and camping sites.
Some soccer supporters are now urging the Zimbabwean government to declare him a national hero. Ihambe zilwandaba linjani lapha likhona endaweni zonke zomhlaba ezitshiyeneyo. Namhla kuhlelo lwe-Diaspora Forum sikhangela okutshiyeneyo. Okokuqala esikukhangelayo khona manje sikhangela khonokhu-ke okwe-COVID-19 ukuthi kambe kuhamba njani emhlabeni yonke jikelele. Singangena isijule ngalokho siyabona ukuthi-ke uhlangothi lwezempilakahle lubika ukuthi kulabantu abayi-32 abahlolwa izolo batholakala ngathi-ke 32 ababulewe yi-COVID-19. Bese kusithi-ke abayi-2099 ngabantu abahlolwe batholakala belegciwane le-COVID-19. Kulabanye njalo abafika 3000 abaphephe kumkhuhlane lo. Kusukela ngombimbitho nyakenye uhlangothi lolu luyabika ukuthi sokulabantu 4940 asebabulawa yi-COVID-19 phakathi kwabantu abayi-207,548 asebaphepha kubhubhane lolu bayi-169,963. Njalo sebahlatshwa ijekiseni yakuqala bayidlula 4,106,800. Bese kusithi-ke laba sebehlatshwe esibili bafika khonapho 3,115,000. So kukhanya ngazana abantu bayithatha-ke ijekiseni leyi yokuthi bephephe kumkhuhlane we-COVID-19. Nxa sesikhangela njalo kokunye okwenzakalayo kwele Zimbabwe, sibonile-ke ukuthi umnumzana Ndumiso Gumede kasekho. UGumede uyaziwa kakhulu, uyaziwa ngokuthi nguGumede wabantu. Singathi uGumede-ke wangena kwa-Highlanders ngama-1970s, wangena khonapho waze waphezulu esiqongweni sokuthi abe umgcinisihlalo weqembu leli. Waphinda njalo waba ngu-secretary general khona-ke sikubiza sithi ngunobhala jikelele weclub yena leyi. Wasethenga-ke okutshiyeneyo i-club house, wathenga lendlu lapho abantu laba abakhaba phela ibhola okumele ukuthi bahlale kiyo bengakayidlala lamanye amaqembu kuthiwa i-club facilities lapho kumele ukuthi phela abantu bazelule bamele ukuthi bayedlala umdlalo olandelayo. UGumede njalo wangena ukuba nguZifa vice president esebenza okunye okumangalisayo. So kulabantu iMarvelous sebesithi uGumede kumele adeclare ukuthi i-national hero ngoba usebenze kakhulu kwezemidlalo. Sizakhangela futhi njalo olunye udaba kulobaba kuthiwa Nkululeko Leta ongumanjinela kwele Zimbabwe. uNkululeko Leta usanda ukuqansa intaba enkulu kakhulu uKilimanjaro. Uthi-ke wazizwa engani ulomdlozela wabe qansa intaba leyi. Wathatha 42 kilometers zonke ngamalanga amabili uthi eqansa siya phezulu. Uthe sesehla futhi wathatha amalanga amabili kodwa wayelabantu ababemncedisa-ke uNkululeko Leta. So this guy Nkululeko Leta Marvelous is a structural engineer and is one of the Zimbabweans who recently climbed Mount Kilimanjaro after he was encouraged by locals to achieve this feat. So it took Nkululeko 2 days to clear 42 kilometers up the mountain and then 2 days to come down. He spent about 20 minutes at the top of the mountain as per some instructions of tour operators. He had some people, of course, who carried some kind of things with him, like food, and some were even carrying some tents and so forth. And one of them was looking after his health. He says it's a tough climb. It's not for the faint-hearted. And according to him, quote and unquote, this was a very strong team that he had. So he paid a parking fee, of course, and then altogether he paid 1,200 to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I think I think you can challenge him. You look strong, Marvelous. Maybe try it.
I think you know what. That's why they say the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. You really have to be fit to be able to take that kind of climb. So I'm very super proud of him. I mean, there's a lot coming out of Zimbabweans this year. So we didn't only have bad news due to COVID-19, but look, we're having so much encouraging things happening, like our Ndlovu Meli, who's also, running a campaign right now to educate people about COVID-19. So it's interesting. I hope that he took the Zimbabwean flag up there and was able to wave it when he was up there, up Mount Kilimanjaro.
His disappointment was as per instructions. He was supposed to spend only 20 minutes. After that, they are saying it's deadly.
Yes,
stay there for too long. So 20 minutes, and he didn't like the vegetation. There's always poor vegetation, but he enjoyed all the way and coming down.
Yes, I think I've watched a lot of nature programs, and I think it's for health reasons because the altitude up there is very different to what you experience down there. But I wish he was live here so we could ask him, but maybe next time.
Yeah, because he's traveling, unfortunately.
Yeah. Asi kune avo vari pachirongwa chedu tinokuchingamidza ine mufaro. Tichitaura zvakare nhasi tiri kuenderera mberi tichitarisa nyaya yedenda rechirwere cheCOVID-19 tichitarisa kuti tasvika kumapeto egore rino ra2021 tichipinda muna 2022 vhiki rinotevera. Parizvino bazi rezveutano riri kuzivisa kuti nezuro munyika makawanikwa imo vanhu 32 vachishaya kubva kudenda iri reCOVID-19. Pakawanikwa zvakare 2,000 vanhu vachiwanikwa vachitesta positive for COVID-19. Uye parizvino vanhu vabayiwa nhomba yeCOVID-19 vanodaudzira 4 million parizvino. Asi tichange tiri kutaura pamusoro penyaya idzi tichitarisa zvakare zviri kuitika. Nhasi tatambira nhau dzinorwadza chaizvo. Vaimbova vachishanda kuZifa uyezve vachishanda kuHighlanders Football Club vaNdumiso Gumede vawanikwa ivo vachitisiya. Saka nhasi vazhinji vari kutarisa ivo kuti dai zvaibvira vawanikwa ivo vachipiwa ruremekedzo rekunge vari mumwe achaiswawo kuHeroes Acre kana kuti vaonekwa segamba, nekuti zvinonzi vaGumede vakawanikwa ivo vachibatsira kutenga tingati mabuildings eHighlanders kuBulawayo ikoko. Vakawanikwa zvakare vachitenga camping site, izvo zvakafadza vatsigiri vazhinji veHighlanders. Tinoona kuti iro nguva yapfuura iyi vakatowanikwa vachipiwa ruremekedzo netimu yavo kana kuti nevatsigiri vavo vakapiwa mari nezvimwewo. Asi nhasi tazotambira mazwi ekuti aiwa vatisiya. Saka ndo zvimwe zvatichange tiri kutarisa, uyezve kuti gwanza ravasiya richakwanisa here kuti ripindwewo nevamwe. Titarisa zvakare musangano mukuru uchange uri paZoom, musangano wemakereke akasiyana siyana uri kudeidzerwa nevatingati vanogara kuno kudiaspora kuAmerica. Tina Reverand Ever Mutambanuki vachauya vachitaura kuti musangano uyu wakakosha sei kune vanhu vese pasi rose, nekuti vari kuti mubatanidzwa wevanoita maprayer meeting pamafoni zuva nezuva, asi uchange kutanga nemusi wesvondo. Over to you, Gibbs.
Yes, marvelous. So let's start with Reverend Mutambanuki. What she can say about COVID. Then we'll go into the other issues as we go in this program. So start with the COVID issue, marvelous.
Aiwa tokuchingamidza ine mufaro pano pachirongwa chedu, Reverend.
Oh, thank you so much. Ndinomukwasa wa muzita ra Jesu.
Buda zvakanaka chaizvo. Tombotanga nekukubvunzai pamusoro peCOVID tichitarisawo zvizvarwa zveZimbabwe zviri muno muAmerica. Manga muri kubatsira sei panguva ino yedenda reCOVID-19 kuedza kutaura nezvazvo kana kubatsirawo mhuri dzinenge dzabatwa nedenda iri?
Tanga tiri kubatsirana physically kudzidzisana kuti toita sei kunyanya tichitora mishonga yekumusha kwedu, zvatinoita zvekufukira, kutore majinja, kungosanganisa natural herbs iri nzira yekudzivirira, uye zvakare nekubatsirana neavo vanenge vari kurwara, kunamata navo, kuvakurudzira kuti vavo vanozvichengeta, pamwe chete nekuchema nevanenge vafirwa, nekufunga nevari kumusha, tichibatsirana navo. Mazano marairanwa, mazano atinenge tapiwawo nevamwe, tagara tichiita pass on kune Zimbabwean population mu diaspora.
Maybe in English, if you can just tell us, what role did the church play, especially the Zimbabwean churches during COVID-19? When we look at this is now the second year that we are fighting this pandemic, but what role did your church play?
The Zimbabwean population in the diaspora has been very instrumental in helping our population understanding this pandemic, which is beyond us. And at the same time, we have been encouraging our people to follow the CDC guidelines, instructions that are given worldwide. And at the same time, we have been using the natural herbs, since you know that in Zimbabwe, we always use the natural herbs. So that has been very helpful to so many people. We use ginger, garlic, and lemon, and onions, all that, just to using that, which has been very helpful. And at the same time, from a spiritual perspective, we have been praying with those who have been affected, those who have lost their loved ones, grieving with them and encouraging them. Some are not even able to go home to mourn their loved ones, which is so sad and difficult. But we have been trying to be together because we are one. We always try our best to be together within our prayer lines. We gather together and we sing songs of condolences and giving testimonies, word of encouragement. That has been very helpful. And within various organizations within North America, people have been doing that. When somebody passes on, those we know and we don't know, it's our custom even to give resources, GoFundMe, etc. So we have been together. That's the important thing during this COVID. And we are still together, looking forward to working together in 2020 and praying together.
So now, what has been the impact of COVID-19 on the church?
The church, people have questions. Why? People are asking, you know, during the time of Job, when he had his own pandemic, there were so many questions. So when is this going to end? Where is God? And why is it happening to us? And what can we do? So, you know, it has been a very difficult year, beginning January to this present day. I was saddened by what you just said, that a lot of people have been diagnosed positive, and at the same time, those who have passed on. My condolences to those families. So the church is standing as the watchdog of God's people. The church is the voice. We are the voice to the people, to those who are discouraged, to those who are going through the passage of time, the difficult time. We don't lose hope. We keep the hope. And you know, Christmas has come to give us hope because Jesus is there. He was born to give us hope and to give us peace and love, that love of God, and at the same time, the joy to the world which has come. So we stand in the midst of that darkest hours. We know where to lean. We lean on God.
Thank you very much, and stay on the line. We are coming back to you shortly. Now we're joined by Mr. Nhlanhla Mbambo, who is based in UK. First of all, we'll talk about COVID, Mr. Mbambo, then we'll cascade into other issues. Welcome to the program, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, so when COVID khona ngapho ime njani? ngapho ukuthi chacha ngamafutshane singakangeni kulokho esimele sikhulume ngakho.
Ibambile Dube. Kodwa ke mina benditravel bengiseWashington the nxa ngifika vele akazivalele endlini so ngilinda ama-results ami angabuya then semphuma ke.
Khathesi ungabuka ngkhona lapha eWashington?
Hayi sengise-England khathesi.
Usubuyele eNgland. So ukuhamba kwakho lokhu bekunjani nxa ugade indizamtshina? Labe lihlezi lonke ku-one seat kumbe omunye ufaka imaskele omunye kwabe kume njani?
Bekugcwele kusesabeka Dube kodwa besifaka ama-maski engibone ema-airport kakhulu eNew Jersey. Hayi kade kungela la space sokuthi umuve nje. I think ngabantu abayemakhaya for ikhisimusi. I think local e-UK, e-US then international. Bekusesabeka kakhulu lakho sibonga nje ukuthi umuntu ngithe nxa ngifika angizaye ngibe nama symptoms kodwa hayi bekungahambeki.
Yeah, so Marvelous Mbambo has been traveling. So he was in Washington, he went back to the UK. You know, he travels a lot. He knows USA like the back of his hand. So he's all over the show. So he says traveling was a bit difficult. Maybe you can pose a question to him.
Yeah, maybe just share what did you see, because I know that I also traveled during, in the past few weeks going to Texas. But what I witnessed, it's there are different rules to different cities, because here in Washington D.C. obviously you have to mask up. But the minute I got to Texas, I had an option. I could wear my mask or not. The mandate day it's not there. You can, if you're wearing a mask, actually they think that you are not vaccinated. So what did you see?
When I was in DC and Maryland, I thought it was really strict, but it was when I was in New York and New Jersey, it was really, really strict there, because in the public, you find that everybody is wearing a mask. Unlike in Maryland, it was a situation where in a shop, someone will remind you to wear a mask. But in New Jersey, I remember walking in the street, someone saying, if you wear a mask, the police are he has the right to stop you. So I think, as you say, state by state, it is different. In New York and New Jersey, I think it's very, very strict. Because in New York, McDonald's, McDonald's in New York, for you to sit in there, you have to prove that you are vaccinated. To eat, to buy and eat there, you have to prove. But they allow you to take, but to sit in, you have to prove that you are vaccinated.
But also remember that New York had one of the highest figures of COVID-19 infections here in the United States. And I think now, even with Omicron, they are crying foul that, they've seen numbers rising up. So it's interesting to see that now they're asking for proof. So did you have your proof on your phone? Where did you have your proof?
I didn't have my proof. So what I did, to be honest, was to just buy and get out.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, the reality gives. I think because when we talk about figures, some people don't know exactly what's also happening here. In this kind of world, that
precisely.
Regulations, people actually do check. I remember even to go into a show, they will ask you, like what you said, for your proof. So what they now advise people to do is take a picture of your vaccination card or your booster and keep it on your phone, because it can be called upon anytime, and you can then prove to say, no, this is my vaccination. But I was interested in knowing about this travel ban. Did that affect you at all?
No, it didn't affect me at all, really. What happened is like I did my, what do they call it, pre-departure vaccine. It test before I...
pre-departure test, yes.
Yes. So because I had already a dose, so it didn't have an issue. It wasn't an issue at all, because now figured upon the airport, you just have to prove that, that's it. It wasn't like that strict. But what happened when I was coming back, I just took it for granted. Maybe I can fly out without having to prove pre-departure from the UK to England. When I got there, they said, we can't put you on this plane now, la pre-departure test in US. So I had to pay $250 in New Jersey airport at that point.
Wow.
So I think
test there.
Yes. I think it's good to prepare before you travel, really, because when I looked at it, it was going to be cheaper if I had done it at Baltimore. Maybe it was $100 at Baltimore. But when I looked at the airport, I had to pay $250, and the line yakona is ridiculous. A lot of people, I think, take this thing for granted to say, oh, maybe I can make my way through. But they are very strict. You can't board an aeroplane without proving good, without showing a pre-departure test.
Yeah, okay. So now let's turn to Highlanders. I know that you're one of the biggest Highlanders fans or supporters and a member. You're a life member, right? So Ndumiso Gumede Maseko. Ungathini ke amazwi akho khona?
Sibuhlungu kanjani baba uDube, it's news ekade singazilindele because ungacabanga uGumede 7 days ago, a week ago, we celebrated bekulomcimbi kade simenzele wona, and it was so beautiful to see him ebukeke ejabulile. I really couldn't believe it. It happened exactly okadaka babu uDube. If you remember, I just seen him a week. But after that week, I heard the news which is passed out. Exactly what Gumede ngicabange kakhulu ngibe khonapha ngesikhathi ukhuluma benilokho embala ama messages akhe ku WhatsApp yami lapha esithi kimi qaphele jaha into le ikhona le corona thina sizivalele endlini. So sengisala nje sembala ama messages kubuhlungu kanjani babuDube abantu bakithi sebehambile kakhulu laba esibe sibaziwe abayakhe Highlanders ngoba baba uGumede ngamcabanga. Sicabanga i-Highlanders lena ka-1986 ayakhayo la manje nxa silokhu silaliyana nostalgic feeling is because of uGumede ngendlela ayikhokhe ngakhona i-Highlanders lena ka-1986 uthe la nxa sechiya sesiharare ngo-1989 i-Highlanders yayiso solid ukuthi kubuhlungu la manje nxa sikhumbula sikhuluma ngakhona ukuthi ubaba sesimlenza upresident ukuthi abe si-advisor nanku sehambile quick like that.
So manje, just hold on a second. Just 1 second. I'm trying to sort out something here. Yeah, okay. So manje kumele niwe isicoco bani uGumede?
Angazi ukuthi bona bazacabangani abakhulu bebhoso babuDube kodwa ke mina ukubona kwami ngicabanga ukuthi kube le-honor enkulu for babuGumede. And into ebuhlungu ukuthi thina kobulawayo lapha ungakhangela sikhangela kakhulu ku-honor abantu maybe abasulelayo kodwa laba abantu abayiba benza ukuthi idolobho lithuthuke kasicabangi ngabo. Kwesinye isikhathi khona yona lana iBaba Fields umbili uveve why singathi maybe bengindumiso Gumede Stadium kwamanye amazwe babuDube ayisiyonto eyinkinga leyo kwenza njalo quick bahlonipha abantu babo uthola ukuthi ngesikhathi esincane nje bekwa i-stadium kumbe a certain structure sinike sibizo lalona umuntu just ukuthi simhloniphe nje si-appreciate ukuthi hayi lo muntu lo nguye wasenza saba lapha. Bengicabanga khona ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi let's just think of a structure kumbe yona leyana i-Highlanders Clubhouse ibe Ndumiso Gumede House. Yeah.
Okay, just hold on there. We'll come back to you. Marvelous. Maybe you can chip in. We've got Mr. Maqhawe Nyathi. Mr. Nyathi, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for coming on to the program. Maybe just give us your take on the passing of Mr. Gumede. What do you think and how do you think he should be remembered? What's his legacy?
Sanbonan, thank you for welcoming me. Thank you, babuDube. Sihlangana ngendaba ezingemnandi. Indaba ezibuhlungu kangaka. It's so sad what just happened. It's even difficult to even think about it. After such a campaign to celebrate his wonderful work in soccer, in football, and just a week down the line, the man is gone. It's so difficult even to believe it, just to understand what really just happened. So, Ubaba Gumede, he was a down-to-earth man. He was a man who knew people, a man of the people, a man who was welcoming. I remember several times interacting him on social media platforms, on Twitter. He would just interact with anyone, whether it's about soccer or it's about
our culture and the Highlanders, which is our heritage. He would just interact and answer questions and talk to anyone and everyone. It's said that now he's gone just like that, and he's just leaving us in the open like that. It's unbelievable. But well, it has happened, and it's God's will. We as a nation, we really need to think deeper and really consider honoring this man. Somehow, I like the idea that let the stadium be named after him. Let there be a club, or even the clubhouse. Let it be named after him. He was a man of his word. He led that club to greater heights, and until his last breath, Gumede was there for Highlanders. And right until his last breath, we learned a lot from him. And the campaign that was going on to celebrate his life, who would have known that it's a goodbye for him? But well, yeah, that's what it is. And thank you, Studio 7 for this program as well, honoring this man. And he really deserved something like this, or even bigger than this.
Yes, ngathi nxa ungakhuluma khona ngesindebele Baba Nyathi, akusho ukuthi uGumede bengumuntu onjani ngokubona kwakho?
Ya, ngathi uGumede bekungumuntu wabantu. uGumede bengumuntu wabantu, not only in his expertise, not kungasikho kuphela kulokho akwaziyo obekungumdlalo wenguqu. uGumede bengumuntu okhululekileyo, even noma uxoxa naye ezamasiko encingweni zokuxhumana lezi, uyaphendula imibuzo. Ube ngumuntu ophile ebantwini, engumuntu omdala ozimiseleyo ukuthungamela abantu abasha nokuthungamela abantu ngendlela eqondileyo. And njengesizwe asilahlekele kakhulu, kungasikho kuphela isizwe sakomthakazi, but isizwe seZimbabwe as a whole silahlekele kakhulu ngumuntu obesazi amasiko, umuntu obesazi ukuthungamela ezemidlalo ngendlela efaneleyo. And okubuhlungu kakhulu ukuthi ensukwini nje ezimbalo besimbona uGumede ejayiva kumnandi, konke kukuhle, kubungazwa umsebenzi awenzileyo, kubhungaza umsebenzi awenzileyo kwezemidlalo. Kodwa namhlanje nanku sokwenzakeleyo. So ebengingakutsho ukuthi ilizwe, kungasikho isizwe sakumthakazi kuphela, ilizwe leZimbabwe kumele lime ngezinyawo celebrate iqhawe elinguGumede. Ubeliqhawe uGumede, akukho kunye ebengakusho okumadlula.
Okay, marvelous. Maybe last question to Mr. Nyathi.
Maybe if I can just translate into Shona, because I'm not sure if it's conversant. Apo tirikunzwa munyarikani wedu vari kutaura ivo kuti semaonero avo dai vaGumede vakwanisa kuwanikwa ivo vachirangarirwa, zita ravo richiwanikwa richipiwawo kune dzimwe nzvimbo dzakadai seBarberfield Stadium kana Highlanders House, uko vanoti ivo vakashanda mabasa akanaka chaizvo, uyezve vabva vadzora ndangariro vakati vaGumede vaiti pese panenge pari kutamba timu yavo kana zvakanaka zviri kuitika vaibva vatamba zvinoyevedza. Saka vari kuti ivo vaikwanisa zvakare kunge vachitaura nevanhu, pangave pari padandemutande reTwitter kana reFacebook kana ripi, vati ndo zvimwe zvinhu zvanga zvichinyanyovabata panyaya iyoyi yekuti iye zvinezvi vari kutofungidzira kuti vari kutofunga kuti dai pakwanisa kunge pari kuitwa zvakawanda. Vakatenda Studio 7 kuti aiwa matigonera nekunge muine chirongwa ichochi chekutsanangura uyezve chekurangarira vaDumiso Gumede.
Yes, we had an interview with Alexander Maseko. I think you still remember him. He was the captain of Highlanders Football Club and another member of the club, Jabu Moyo. Let's listen to this interview that I did with the two.
California konke lokho imanagement yakhe ukubumba iqembu lethu la ngakuzifa ngale so okwakhe ukwazi ukumanager inguqu akuvuze kuyazakala abaningi esingathi balolwazi njengaye so hayi yikulahle okukhulu not only kuboss but elizweni knowledge yonke la isilele phansi.
Yes, siyakuzwa kakhulu Jabu, sicela ubambe khonapho ke silo Zanda Maseko. Zanda sawamukela mfowethu.
Yebo kunjani mfowethu?
Nomphile Zanda nanko kumbiko ngasekugumzi.
Awu. Hayi anginamazwi madoda ngiphelelwe nje. Umuntu nje obejabula last week. Abantu bemhlanganisela nje ukumbonga ukuthi kona into zonke azenzayo esaphila, understand? And then you find this week umuntu beseshiya nje kanjalo. Akubuhlungu.
Ya kubuhlungu kakhulu. Sitshele ukuthi wena wasebenza njani lo Gumede?
Oh. I mean we suka kude mendo Gumede from into zesport ku Highlanders esiya kuzifa the main thing engakhuluma ngayo ngakhona besides into zebhora. I mean he was a great administrator 1 2 wayengu MC emchadweni wami so kubuhlungu you understand. I see him laphana ejiva dance vele how ekhohliwe yazi nxa abantu bebuya besenza into engani yabhida ngapha abakhuza athi hayi no semchadweni namaseko lo kanje ake lihlale phansi cicha uyazi it's fun and now I'm taking me back ukuthi ngithathe i-DVD yami lana ngimbuke manje lapho and I will do that. I've actually missed someone very special.
Yeah, nxa sikhangela futhi lebholeni siyabona ukuthi wena ungicaptain webhoso la wayekhona eduze khonapho akusitshela ukuthi lalidlelana njani lo Gumzi.
Gumede he was man of peace, man of laughter and the serious ngokuthi siwine kuphela wayefuna ukuthi kona nasenjani sikhululeke uma sidlala ibhola. Understand? Sizidlalele nje sibe take be yourself and enjoy the game. Wayengekho strict ngendlela lezi ezaziphethe uyazi kulabanye abantu ababa strict kakhulu but hayi Gumzi no and I remember also nxa siqeda ama game laphana anginika imota yakhe ithatha abantu abami bahambisela uveve understand eGwabalanda bahambise ba drive ngibuyele back ngemota yakhe ngithola uGumede vele umuntu wabantu you understand he was just a man of people.
So manje abantu bamkhumbule njani uGumzi ngoba vele abaningi sithi uGumzi yabo.
You know to me yazi uGumede has been a rock and he has been a rock of everyone. Why inceda wonke umuntu kazange axabalele umuntu wayengasokeli wayengelwalile umuntu. Let's remember him as a hero. That's what I can say to me. He's one of the heroes ku sport eZimbabwe. He's a hero. Yeah.
So manje kumele izweleni kufaka isithombe kwezweni kwele academy wena ngombono wakho ubona ngani kumele kuthweni ngombono wakho siwizana.
I think vele kufuze ukuthi kube lenye ibuild angazi kumbe sifake sithi isithombe sakhe thina ngapha uma ukuthi abantu bezifa labo bayafuna bemenzele something huge somewhere but at the end of the ku football fraternity but at the moment thina nje phakele stop clubhouse lapha I believe nje uma ungena nje.
There, that is Alexander Maseko. I think you still remember him, marvelous. He captained the Highlanders, and that was a Highlanders team which was rolling. It was beating all the clubs, Still remember those days?
Yes, and what I like, he took it up a notch by saying that the late Gumede was actually an MC. I think one of them said at his wedding, and he says now he's going to remember him. He's going to go back to the tape and see how Gumede was able to dance and to just make everyone feel at home. So those are the moments that a lot of people will remember. But what also he said was there was a celebration for him a week ago where people honored him. So as much as it's said, Gibbs, it's very rare for most people to actually be honored while they are alive.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yes.
God made it possible for him to actually be honored and to know how people feel about him before he passed on. Saka potanga tukunzwa mnyarekane vanga vari kutaura ivo kuti vachafunga vaGumede pamusoro pemabasa avakabata vachitaura kuti vaGumede zvakare vakange vari vanhu munhu anoda runyararo. vakange vari munhu anoda zvekufara kana vari pavari pangave pari pabhora kana mumamwewo mafaro vakataura ivo kuti vakakwanisa kunge vari MC pamuchato wavo vachitamba vachikurudzira vanhu kuti vafare. Izvo zvichaitawo kuti vawanikwe vachivaremekedza. Vakati zvakare zvinonyanyovarwadza ivo ndezvekuti vhiki rapfuura iro vaGumede vakawanikwa vachiitirwa mabiko vakawanikwa vachipiwa ruremekedzo nevanhu vatsigiri veHighlanders nevamwewo vari muHighlanders vakawanikwa ivo vachiratidzwa rudo rwakakura chaizvo. Kubva saka vari kuti zvavarwadza kuti 1 week later vabva vatisiya. Saka ndo zvimwe zvavanga vari kutaura. Gibbs.
Yes, your last word, Mr. Mbambo, on this issue ekaGumede, then we cross over to another issue. Quiet, sir.
Ngiyabonga babudubelo sisimavela ngiyajabula lokuzilegend ikhuluma lapha Maseko. Mina into eyenza etsho ukuthi for ukuthi sikhumbule imemory kaBabuGumede ukuthi I think we have to make sure ukuthi we uphold our values and principles of football, either Highlanders or Zimbabwe general. Wenzela ukuthi umdlalo wethu webhola uye phambili. Khathi kule African Nations Cup, I think the best thing for us to remember uGumede is to win something for him.
Thank you so much, Mbambo. Sibongile kakhulu ngadinela kusasa baba.
Hayi ngiyabonga babudube.
Okay, bye-bye. So, marvelous. Let's cross over to Reverend Mutambanuki and then discuss this issue concerning this convention, which is coming very, very soon. And we are here. Many people are going to attend this convention. So, in the next 7 minutes or so, let's discuss this. Then we'll go into the letter, Nkululeko Leta's issue. So, go ahead, marvelous. First question.
My Reverend Mutambanuki, motitsananguro nezverevival yenyu yamuinayo zvakakosha sei kuti pange chirongwa chakadai?
Mazita ndinotenda zvikuru kwazvakakosha kuti titange pamwe chete nerevival, kutanga naMwari tichizofambe mugore tanamata tanamata. Matthew chapter 6 on verse 33, tsvakai umambo hwaMwari nokururama kwawo kwose, zvimwe zvose zvoteera. Saka timu yedu iri kutaura nekuti Mwari, tarirai, Mwari ari kuita zvinhu zvitsva.
So now looking at what is coming, how can you describe this convention which is coming, and where are you going to be? How many people are you expecting, and just briefly all those kind of things?
Thank you very much. Like I said, we are starting on the January the 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, and 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll be on Zoom, and there are 12 different groups who are in North America. We have the Mothers Union, which is an Anglican women's organization. We have the CFI, which is being led by Dr. Japhet Ndemera and his crew. We have my Dr. Tariro Chabata, who leads the morning prayer. We have Pastor Marvelous, wonderful woman of God, who leads the Women of Dominion, which is 10 years old. And we also have Pastor Dr. Letina Jeranyama, who leads the Women of Faith, and I am there too. Reverend Ever Mutambanuki, I lead the evening prayer, which is 11 years old, and Elder Ndiraya leads the evening prayer, Yasekuru Masuka, and Pastor Makoni. And we have the Building for the Future by Pastor Jacob Maforo, and Reverend Kapumvuti, who is in Maryland, who leads the North American Wabui. My Judith Mutamba leads the RRW United Methodist Church in North America, and Dr. Reverend Hofisi, who leads the Methodist in Zimbabwe, is a chaplain in North America. So all these organizations are coming together. The purpose is for us to begin 2022 together. When Rokunamata Mavira Pamwe, meaning you cannot do away with prayer. We have to be together. So we'll be on Zoom, and all these groups will be preaching, they'll be teaching, and at the same time, there will be break rooms where people go into break rooms and praying for our children, praying for our nation, and praying for the year as it is coming.
Ye lapho ke sizwa ke Reverend Ever Mutambanuki ekhuluma khonokho ke abakuthi bazakwenza kuyabe kuZoom bekhuleka besenza konke ke okuthiwa i-revival ukuthi ke kuvuselelwe phela okukaNkulunkulu konke okuhambelana lelizwi likaNkulunkulu njalo bekhonze bendawonye kulabantu abaningi kakhulu abazabe bengena kulokhu kuZoom kuqaliswa mhla ka-2 ngoZibandlela kuze kuchove amalanga ayi-8 bekuchova konke lokhu so uthi ke babe bekhulumisana labantu ngakho konke lokhu ke ukuthi bakhonze uNkulunkulu bendawonye khonapha kwelemelika kunjalo ke Marvelous.
Zvakakosha sei nyanya mudiaspora kuti vanhu vawanikwe vachisangana vachikurukura zvatingati zvikwaJesu.
Oh my, ndo upenyu wedu sevana weZimbabwe. As you know, 95% and most of our population wa Kristu vanonamata, saka kuno ku diaspora tisiri kumusha tiri kuno, saka tinoda kukudza mhuri dzedu muchiKristu. So tiri kukurudzirana mhuri dzese kuuya pamwe chete tichitaure Shona yedu, tichitaure Ndebele, tichitaure Chirungu sewakadzidziswa nevaBritish kuti tive tinonamata pamwe chete. Zvakakoshesesa kuti titange gore nemunamato uye zvakare tinozoenda maprayer group edu. Tine marevival ari kuuya, Women of Dominion ine revival muna June, mamwe CFI muna September, Building for the Future. We have all these organizations one ma yearly meetings anoitika. So vanhu vangaziva sei vasina kuparidzirwa, vangapona sei vasina kuparidzirwa, tingararama sei mupandemic tisinganamati. So that is very important. We have to do that.
So is there any payment that is needed for people to attend, or it's just as free as the Word of God?
It's free, Word of God free. What is needed are our hearts. Moyo yedu chete ndio inodiwa kuti tigashire maridzo dzichauya, ma-teachings achauya, kurudziro ichauya, tofamba sei muna 2022. Uwepo pamwe ndo wakakosha.
Thank you very much. And stay on the line, don't go away. We're going to come back to you after, exhausting the other issue that is today, that we're discussing today. So remember, Marvelous, when we started the show, we said we've got this guy who actually climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. So he's a structural engineer. His name is Nkululeko Leta. He's now based in South Africa. It took him about 2 days to clear 42 kilometers up the mountain and another 2 days to come down. So participant, as we indicated, 20 minutes at the top of the mountain. This mountain is the tallest in Africa. And he says it was like conquering the whole world. For him to be up there, he enjoyed himself like we don't know. So he says some people were actually carrying 5-liter oxygen tanks on their backs, but he had none. At one stage, he thought maybe he had forgotten something, and he wanted to ask his anglers whether they had forgotten to give him his own tank. But he says going up the mountain, you need a lot of endurance. And at the same time, you shouldn't be worried about many things. But having 6 anglers and having paid $1,200 for the tour, he says it was really worth it. He enjoyed every bit, according to Nkululeko Leta. Right?
Let's hear what he has to say, because like you said, there's a lot of endurance that's needed for that climb, and people actually spend time training to climb. So I wish he was live so we could ask him if he actually trained or this was just a one-off.
He said he never trained. He was inspired by people near him, while he was doing a workshop. Okay. And then he said, okay, I can climb that thing, and went up there. So here he comes.
Yes, Minikama lami Nkululeko Leta, ngiphuma koBulawayo eZimbabwe. I-profession yami ngumanjinela womgwaqo, but sengabrancha futhi into transport engineering in general. Yes, liqiniso ngayiqansa intaba uKilimanjaro, and experience really ethokozisayo but engekho lula. And it's ebengisho ukuthi ifuna not only umzimba oqinileyo reasonably, akumelanga ukuthi angikholwa ukuthi kufunakala umuntu o super fit, but kumele ube reasonably fit physically. And but into ebaluleke kakhulu ikuqina engqondweni ukuthi uyazi injongo yakho yokufuna ukuqansa intaba, and uzimisela ukuthi come what may. Kungaba njalo nje ukuthi okunye kungaba sokuthi too much, but as long as kuyibunzima lobuyana obungekho life threatening, hayi kuyabe kufuna ukuthi ingqondo yakho ikutshela ukuthi masiqhubeke size siqanse le ntaba.
Kwinokwenza ukuthi uzuqansa intaba le abanye abantu beyisaba kangaka.
Ngangilo umcabango okuyiqansa nje, but ngingela plan ukuthi ngiza kwenza nini. But kwenzakala ngaleso sikhathi ukuthi ngangihambe ngomsebenzi eTanzania ku-region yona leyo eMoshi, and I spent a week ngikhona ngale. And then I met a lot of people, including agents laba abathatha abantu bebaqansisa uMount Kilimanjaro. So bangikhuthaza ukuthi njengoba usuhlala isikhathi esingaka usuacclimatizile, and you don't look, you are reasonably physically fit, awufuni na ukuzama ukuthi uqanse lawo intaba. And abaningi bakhona babesithi thina sesaqansa, abanye basithi sazama ukuqansa sisafikanga. So yenza ngifune lami ukuthi kahle ke ngizama. I had some time on my hands, so ngathi mina mhlawumbe this is my chance to ukuthi ngiyenze lento. So that was the only motivation I had, other than ukuthi ngangivele ngifuna ukuthi at some point in life I would want to do that. But ukuthi ngikwenze ngaleso sikhathi kwaba nje ukukhuthazwa ngabantu ababe engahlangana nabo ngaleso sikhathi.
Yes, ngathi waqansa intaba leyo wafika khatshana kanganani?
Angiva baba.
Waqansa intaba leyo wafika kanganani? Waqansa kanganani entabeni leyo?
Bengisho ukuthi intaba distance it's 42 kilometers. So ngathatha 3 days ukuqansa 42 kilometers zangakhona, then 2 days coming down. Ngoba coming down is much easier. Ngoba you gradually improve the oxygen supply, and the excitement nje ukuthi you've managed to conquer the mountain. So we are very happy ukuthi you are now going back and really super excited. So it was a total of 5 days.
Yes, so singathi khonapho ke baba Leta uqansa khonapho wafika esiqongweni kumbe wafika kwesinye isibanga?
Yes, ngafika esiqongweni ngempela, and ngoba esiqongweni kwakhona umele bathi bona you shouldn't spend more than 20 minutes. Umele uthi 20 minutes, you look around, you take pictures, and then you make your way down. But awumelanga uhlale imzuzu edlula i-20 ngoba umzimba uyabe usukhathele ngokuswela i-oxygen or nge-oxygen limited. So umele uphumuze, and uphumuze ama-lungs akho ukuthi aqalise ukuba le-oxygen ewajayeleyo. Otherwise kuyaba le-collapse, and then you can lose, uyalose consciousness. Angazi ukuthi ngathini ngesindebele.
Uyaphela umoya. So ke kunjani ukuya phezulu khona ngale siqongweni? Kunjani?
Hey, in terms of what scenery or just a feeling nje yokuthi uqansa kanjani?
Yeah, konke khona.
Yeah. Iscenario ukuthi vegetation yakhona ayikho inhle kangako. It's all le vegetation engakhuli kakhulu and engabi green kakhulu. But kunzima sibili ukuqansa ngoba uyabungela qiniso ukuthi umzimba wakho uzawuthatha njani uza responda kanjani kuswelakala kwe-oxygen.
Very marvelous. So this is this first segment, and then we'll continue with the next segment. So all what he's saying here is that as a structural engineer, it was not necessary that he had that job in order to go up there. So he says it was a question of endurance, having a strong body, but not a super fit person. You've seen some people that are super fit, right?
Yeah.
So he says no, not as such, but you have to have a very strong mind. You have to play some mind games with the mountain. So he says he climbed that mountain without a specific date that he was going to do it, but it was always on his mind, because at that particular time he was at Moshi. Moshi is an area around Mount Kilimanjaro. So he spent about a week or so before climbing the mountain, and then met a lot of agents who told him, you know what, it's possible. So he thought about it, traveled for about 42 kilometers up the mountain. Instead of 2 days, he says it was 3 days going up, then 2 days going down. So he says it's much easier to go down than up, because when you go down, your oxygen supply levels actually increase. So he's happy that he conquered the mountain, and when you are going down, you know that you have done a big job. So all in all, it took about 5 days to complete, the whole thing. So he says he's very happy, but then he was not too impressed about the vegetation up there. He says, the scenery is not too good, right?
Aiwa, apo tanga tiri kunzwa munyarikani vedu vanga vari kutaura naGibbs pamusoro vari kutaura ivo kuti vakakwira Mount Kilimanjaro, vachitaura ivo kuti chikuru kuti pfungwa inge yakagadzikana. Hazvinyanyotarisa zvazvo kuti miri wako wakavakwa sei, asi pfungwa inofanira kunge yakagadzikana, nekuti vari kuti ivo vakatora mazuva 3 vachikwira Mount Kilimanjaro, vakazotora 2 vachidzika. Uyezve vasvika kumusoro ikoko vakangobvunzwa kuti vagare ikoko 20 minutes, vakatorawo mapicha nezvimwe zvakadaro vachibva vazodzika. Asi vanga vari kuti pakukwira Mount Kilimanjaro zvinhu zvava zvakati omei, nekuti panodiwa oxygen nezvimwe zvakadaro, asi pakudzika zvange zvave nani. Asi vari kuti ivo aiwa vari kufadzwa nezvavakaita, nekuti chinhu chavanga vagara vachifunga kuti vachaita. Saka pavakangowana mukana, vakabva vatora mukana iwoyo, vakawanikwa vachienda pamusoro chaipo peMount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, let's listen to the second segment where he's speaking about his experience.
Kuswelakala kwe-oxygen ngaphezulu. Ngangibona abaningi, especially abadala asebekhulile, babethwele amatanki e-oxygen, umteli 5 liters ze-oxygen on their backs, like ogogo labokhulu abavele eJapan, lezi abo-Korea, babethwele ama-oxygen tank ngemuva, so ukuthi abancedise ukuphefumula. So yikho kwakungani kwethusa ukuthi when uyabuhamba uqansa ungela la oxygen yakhona, ubona abanye bethwele ama-oxygen, uthi mhlawumbe ikhona into awutholanga imemo nawe ukuthi kufunakala i-oxygen. So ugcina uzama ugcina ususethuka ukuthi mayibo kusho ukuthi lapha ngenza iphutha ngoba mina ngiyithwalanga leyo oxygen. But with time ukuthi uguide nguye nje uyabe utshela ukuthi no, it's not necessary unless uve uzazi ukuthi ule problem ukuphefumula. But nxa uma ungela problem, it's not a problem ukuthi awula oxygen. Ethi ngizakubheka uma wenza ngathola ukuthi usuphefumula nzima, then we will turn sizophindela njalo singakafiki esiqongweni.
Yes, yeah, qhubeka.
No, bengithi nje luckily enough akusadingekanga ukuthi siphindele singafika ngesiqongweni.
Yes, singathi waqansa ulabantu abangaki njalo wahlawula yini? Kwakuhlawulela khonokho?
Yeah, mina ngaqansa ngilabantu ababengisikela abayisithupha. Kwakulalo owayengu-main guide, onguye okhombisayo, onguye ongitshengisa yonke izinto, ongibhekayo ukuthi angitholanga kanzima. Then kube lo muntu othwala amanzi okunatha, lamanzi okupheka, kube lalo othwala ukudla for the okwesikhathi sonke 6 days zenezo. Kulalo ozahamba ayelungisa indawo lapho engizolala khona every night, ukuthi ngithole leyo ndawo and indawo yakhona ilungiswe kahle, ukuthi umuntu alale elengubo ezigudumalayo ngoba kuyabanda as we go up. And then kube lalo nje u-assistant oyabe sekela omunye ukuthi uma kungadingakala ukuthi ngithwalwe, then bazongithwala, kube labantu abazongithwala sebengisa either ku-base camp or kundawo lapho abantu bayenza i-evacuation nge-helicopter. So kwakule team sibili ayingikhangele ukwenzela ukuthi in case of emergency nje whatever eyabe iyo babe bezimisela ukuthi bazoncedisa. Yikho-ke kunida ukuthi kubhadalwe ngoba ngumsebenzi wabo labo bantu, lokubhadala i-park fees ngoba i-Mount Kilimanjaro is managed national parks. So labo uyakhokhela ama-charges akhona plus lokukhokhela i-team ehamba nawe ekuncedisayo ukuthi uphumelele. And bazafuna labo i-tip ekugcineni nxa ufikile esiqongweni, ba-expect ukuthi labo bathiphe ukuthi hayi i-mission accomplished or ukuthi siyenelisile ukufika esiqongweni.
Singathi konke sibili konke nxa sukhangele sibili indleko zonke ungafika kuma 20,000 kumbe kuma 10,000 kumbe imali enjalo.
Ngoba mina angihambanga through noma labantu bayabhuka ngama-agent la nxa use-South Africa uthola i-travel agent ubhuke ngayo, ubhuke lama-flights, le-accommodation, and mina njengoba ngangisemsebenzini ngaleso sikhathi, so ama-flights I didn't have to pay separate flights. Angidingakanga ukubhadala i-travel agent. Angayibhadalayo zi-park fees, lokubhadala i-team yami engiphathisayo ekuqaniseni. So $200.
Right, marvelous. There you are. So he says he paid that much, $1,200 for the whole trip. So to be precise here, he was saying that he had a very strong team with him, and at the end of the day, he had somebody carrying water, food, a tent for sleeping, and all those kind of things. A health assistant and a courier, somebody would help in the evacuation process, and he paid some park fees. So all in all, that's 1,200. And a smile, of course.
Pamnyarikani wedu vari kutsanangura kuti vazowanikwa vachikwira Mount Kilimanjaro vakange vaine timu yavo yavanga vanayo uyezve vakabhadhara 1,200 vaivabatsira kutakura mweya, kutarisa kuti utano hwavo hwakamira zvakanaka here nezvimwewo.
We've got only about a minute, so your last word, Reverend Mutambanuki.
Oh, thank you so much. Wishing you all a happy new year, and also inviting you wherever you are to join us for our Rwendo Rwekunamata Mabvira Pamwe, beginning 2022 together. Tinokukokai, tinokudai, tichikunamatirai, tinoziva kuti muchatinamatirawo. Thank you so much for this time.
Aiwa, tichange tichishare Zoom link yenyu papage redu reVOA shona kuti vanenge vari kuda kunzwa vanzwa zvatiri kutaura munouya paVOA Facebook page yedu yeshona, tichange tiine link ipapo kuti munopinda sei muZoom kubva nemusi wesvondo kusvika musi wa9.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We wish to thank our guests this evening, structural engineer Nkululeko Leta, Reverend Ever Mutambanuki, Mr. Maqhawe Nyathi, Mr. Nhlanhla Mbambo, and Mr. Alexander Maseko, and all those who joined us tonight on Studio 7 Live Talk. And this is the Diaspora Forum. And signing off from Maryland, this is Kips Dube saying Good night, Zimbabwe.
And I'm Marvelous Nhlanhla here in Washington, D.C., saying have a very good night.
Good night.